Welcome back to the Money and Wealth Show. I'm Sterling Fox in conversation with our special guest Larry Reaugh, President and CEO of American Manganese Incorporated. Larry, just before the break, you were talking about how individual investors really ought to look at investments as a business proposition. Tough assignment. We are pretty emotional about our money. It's difficult to divorce yourself from those hard-earned after-tax dollars. But talk a little bit before we get to the specifics of manganese and your company about the challenges facing junior Canadian companies in attracting investors, because we talked a little bit about risk and in these recessionary times, and you talked a little bit about herd mentality as well. What extra effort do you have to put in to get your story in front of investors that could benefit both themselves and you by buying shares in one of your companies?
Well, of course, having conversations like we are on television today is one of those ways.
Okay.
We get into publications. People tend to read the publication when have a little idle time. We certainly have an internet presence on sites like howstreet.com. But the biggest way to reach investors today is more one-on-one or very small meetings where you can get, you can build a relationship and build some trust with the individuals. The product is really good. Then it's up to you to build up that trust area where they think that you can take that product and make them money. That's what it all is at the end of the day. Are they going to make money?
Sure.
And is this a bargain? But really, to make a lot of money, people don't like to do it, but you have to take a position. And you have to say, this is the reason I took the position. I'll put it in the drawer and I'll let it develop. And that's how you make the big money. Now, you can trade it for a nickel or a dime or 10% or 30% or 100%. But it's a little more difficult to call all the shots right when you do that. You can make it over here, lose it over there. So, you should take part of your money and get a good story, with a good product behind it, with good management, buy that paper and put it away in a safety deposit box and let it develop into this eventual evolution that it will, where it becomes a producing mine. And of course, manganese is one of those metals that people are not following.
Well, and to be perfectly honest with you, until this show came along and we started doing it and you joined us as a sponsor, I had never heard of manganese since probably grade 12 chemistry class, Larry. Tell us about it and why American Manganese is doing so well.
Well, manganese is the fourth largest traded metal commodity out there. And our product, which is electrolytic manganese, is the fastest growing segment of the manganese industry, in which it grew from up till 2008, grew at a rate of 26% a year. It's a 2.6 billion pound market. The regular manganese market, which includes ore in which you make ferros and silica manganeses, and of course some of them, you make electrolytic manganese, is the largest market. And that's the one you read the most about. That market is 40% plus in grade. It's mined as a product on its own. It's shipped the way it is to the end user. The steel company, the company that makes the ferromanganese, they eventually will take that product and build what they want out of it. It fetches about 13 cents a pound. Now, what I like about electrolytic manganese, first off, we have a very low-grade deposit. Second, we have a patent application in to process that product to make us potentially the lowest cost producer in the world.
And your mine site is in the United States?
Is in Arizona.
Okay.
That's right. And of course the U.S. Has a 14% import duty on electrolytic manganese. Now, what's happened in that market recently, and it really excites me, is the Chinese have shut down 20% of the production of electrolytic manganese due to safety and energy efficiency concerns. This always results in some of those mines never coming back. Immediate impact is electrolytic manganese has jumped from $1.25 to $1.40 a pound.
Well, I was just going to say, with the old supply and demand ethic at the forefront, if the supply goes down and the demand remains the same, the price has to go up.
Oh, exactly. And guess who the largest supplier or controls electrolytic manganese in the world is? It's China.
Right.
They're almost 98% of the total world production of electrolytic manganese.
And if they're reducing it by 20%, that suddenly opens the game up to a lot more players, doesn't it?
Oh, it opens the game for more players, but it certainly tightens the market up. When your specialty steel companies can no longer get a supply, or your aluminum companies can no longer get a supply of electrolytic manganese dioxide, you're going to start to see stories develop. You know, businesses go bankrupt. It will be really start to come into its own, you might say. People will understand what manganese is all about. When that happens, there's going to be a rush. I don't know if you're aware, but we were the first company out there with molybdenum back in 2003. And it was a tough battle up till about 2005 to get people to invest in a molybdenum project. They didn't understand it. It's the same with manganese right now.
So there's an education process underway.
Education process, and this is one way that you can take a undervalued commodity and get it ready for the market and benefit from that when it's finally discovered out there. And that's exactly what we're doing.
Well, hopefully you're a little bit ahead of the curve along with the rest of us on the Money and Wealth Show this week. Our special guest is the President and CEO of American Manganese, Larry Reaugh, and we'll be back with lots more in a moment.
Hi, I'm Larry Reaugh, President and CEO of Gold Ray Resources Corp. Our major project is in Shandong Province, China. It's a gold project with a 43101 resource. We're currently negotiating a $16.5 million US loan to take it into production at 1,500 tons per day. For more information, go to goldray.com or phone me directly at 604-531-9639.